Hamilton as Abraham Lincoln.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 TV shows that were canceled for ridiculous reasons.
Everybody, I got bad news. We've been canceled.
Oh no, Peter, how could they do that?
For this list, we're looking at the most notable television programs that were axed for reasons that were either bad, silly, or just plain ridiculous. Which of these cancellations angered you the most? Let us know in the comments down below. Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play. Number 20. Futurama, canceled because of bad scheduling.
Space. It seems to go on and on forever. But then you get to the end and the gorilla starts throwing barrels at you.
You'd think a network that airs a television show would at least care about it, right? Well, according to Matt Groening, Fox executives weren't the biggest fans of Futurama. The series premiered in 1999, but instead of putting it in the more favorable Sunday night slot after The Simpsons, Fox threw it on a Tuesday night. They eventually moved it back to Sunday, but aired it at different times, and it became a task knowing when exactly the show was on. Remember, this was before everything was available to stream on demand at all times. Long story short, the series suffered low ratings and Fox stopped ordering new episodes. Thankfully, Futurama has since been revived from the dead by other networks and services.
Captain Tarangalila!
Here!
Delivery boy first class, Philip J. Fry!
Here!
Number 19. Underground, canceled due to budgetary concerns and subject matter.
Thank you for your prompt payment of Charlotte's bills for the last quarter. She's made great steps forward, but she takes one or two backwards from time to time.
They say money is the root of all evil. While the cancellation of Underground might not quite qualify as evil, it did mostly happen because of money. You see, just as the show was rounding up its acclaimed second season in 2017, the network WGN America was in the process of being purchased by the Sinclair Broadcast Group. Underground was a definite hit for WGN, but it also cost quite a bit of money to produce, and Sinclair demanded that the company cut costs. So they did, by ending the show after only 2 seasons. There was also speculation by some that the subject matter, about the Underground Railroad in antebellum Georgia, didn't endear the series to the conservative Sinclair Group.
Got us another one, Jim!
Number 18. Robin Hood, canceled because the lead actor moved on.
These men have committed no crime worth more than a spell in the stocks.
TV shows have a myriad of creative ways to deal with the departure of star actors, one of which is killing off their characters. While that has worked perfectly for most other shows, it didn't go over so well for the BBC One adventure drama Robin Hood. Right after the 3rd season, lead actor Jonas Armstrong opted to leave the show. The network decided to kill the character and tried forging ahead. But how exactly was a Robin Hood series supposed to work without a Robin Hood? Or even a Maid Marian, seeing as they had already killed her off too. The network realized their mistake early on and axed the show before its proposed 4th season.
I have waited for you.
I knew I would find you again.
It's time.
Number 17. The Spectacular Spider-Man, canceled because Disney acquired Marvel.
Okay, so Marco, now tell me, the new spider signal, too much? It's my first night trying it out, and I'm just not sure it screams friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Be brutal.
Marvel fans are probably pretty happy that Disney bought the company back at the end of the aughts. That one decision led to the birth of the most successful film franchise of all time. However, little do many of them know that it was also the reason for the premature end of the Spectacular Spider-Man television series. Considered by many to be one of the best Spidey series ever, The Spectacular Spider-Man was initially intended to air for 5 seasons. The showrunners also planned to create movies that would connect each installment. Well, that all went up in smoke when the Disney-Marvel deal took away Sony's rights to continue distributing the show.
Another banner episode in the life of Peter Parker. Harry's left with no father. I'm left with no Gwen. At least the city's safe.
Number 16. Longmire, canceled because of its older audience.
That's a sheep.
I said we had a dead body. Never said what species.
A TV show with consistently high ratings is typically assured of renewal. But that wasn't the case with Longmire on A&E back in the 2010s. You see, even though the show was, after 3 seasons, the network's highest-rated original drama series ever, the folks at A&E decided not to renew it for season 4. Why not, you ask? Well, it turns out that most of the people watching were over 50 years old. And while we're always told to respect our elders, once you hit 50, you seemingly become less appealing to advertisers, and thus less appealing to networks. Thankfully, Netflix upheld that respect and picked up the show for 3 more seasons.
He could have got out of town. Well, he still had the chance.
Number 15, Police Squad. Canceled because audiences didn't get the humor.
I'm Captain Frank Drebin. I understand you had a pretty rough time.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Cigarette?
Yes, I know.
Remember those great Naked Gun movies? Well, did you know they were based on a television show called Police Squad? The series, created by the same trio that made the film franchise, also starred Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin, and featured all the classic Naked Gun type humor. Given how funny and popular the movies were, why was the TV show canceled after only 6 episodes? Well, the network felt that the comedy required viewers to pay close attention in order to get the jokes, which you would think is the case for just about any comedy. TV Guide nailed it when they called that, quote, the most stupid reason a network ever gave for ending a series.
415?
Yes. The body was found 415 feet from the car.
Oh. Must have been a terrible accident.
Yes.
Number 14, Happy Endings. Canceled because it wasn't on brand.
Alex, I love you!
What's happening here?
I skipped the rehearsal, but I'm pretty sure that guy's in love with Alex.
Happy Endings only ran for 3 seasons, but they were 3 of the best seasons of television comedy in the 2010s. However, despite the growing critical acclaim season after season, the ratings were never great. Viewership seemed to pick up in the 2nd season, only to be hurt the following year by an irregular schedule. In the end, though, one of the reasons given for the cancellation was that Happy Endings was too narrow a show and not on brand for the network. ABC's then president Paul Lee reportedly said, quote, I think Super Fun Night and Mixology are broader shows that will bring in a wider audience. Raise your hand if you remember Super Fun Night or Mixology. Didn't think so.
I do.
No. And do you, Brooke, take Elliot to be your lawfully wedded husband?
No! What? No, not them. There is a fire, and programs are on fire.
Number 13, Star Wars The Clone Wars. Canceled because it was getting too graphic.
The only Jedi we can spare are Skywalker and Kenobi. They just captured the planet Christophsis.
Then contact them immediately.
There are a few theories as to why Star Wars The Clone Wars was originally canceled back in 2014, and none of them is very satisfying. The animated series that originally ran on Cartoon Network is one of the true standouts in the Star Wars universe. So why was it canceled? There's a school of thought that after acquiring Lucasfilm, Disney didn't want to be producing a hit show for a competitor network. Daniel Logan, the actor who voiced Boba Fett, is on record saying that he thinks Disney ended the show because it was, quote, getting a little too graphic. At least the company got their act together and aired a final season on Disney Plus in 2020.
Pardon the interruption, General, but Rex here has a good theory on why we keep, losing.
Number 12, Veronica Mars. Canceled to make way for cheap reality TV.
Be cool, Soda Pop.
Veronica Mars began on UPN before transitioning to the CW for its 3rd season. Not only was the series still garnering strong reviews, it was also enjoying even better ratings. But then the 3rd season was put on hiatus so the CW could air its new reality show, Pussycat Dolls Present: The Search for the Next Doll, in its place. When Veronica Mars finally returned 2 months later, the ratings sank and the series was subsequently canceled. Series creator Rob Thomas eventually said that the CW had heavily resisted the show's future, indicating that it was not a great fit for the new network.
You're out of my life. Forever.
Number 11, Angel. Canceled because Joss Whedon asked for an early renewal.
Are you firing me?
Among other things, yes.
Do you think I could get a recommendation?
Angel was a highly successful spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that enjoyed strong reviews and particularly great ratings. And that success led to its cancellation. As head writer David Fury explained, a confident Joss Whedon went to the head of the WB and demanded an early renewal so his crew wouldn't worry about their future job prospects. Rather than renewing Angel, the WB flaunted their power and canceled it instead, much to the shock of Whedon and the show's fans. And if Fury's words are to be believed, to the regret of the WB itself.
This won't take long. I would not leave that one unattended.
Number 10, Clone High. Canceled because of its depiction of Gandhi.
Gandhi this year is going to be different. I'm taller, I've got slightly bigger sideburns.
I spent all summer on my high fives and my finger snaps.
Fans of Clone High were no doubt super excited when the series, which had been canceled after just one season in 2003, was revived 20 years later. However, not all of the original characters were brought back. One of the most obvious missing members of the high school filled with clones of historical figures was Gandhi. And there was a very good reason for that. You see, the character's portrayal in the first season was so controversial in India that over 100 people in the country went on a hunger strike in protest. There were also protests by members of India's parliament. So, since the Gandhi controversy got the show canceled back in 2003, he was kept frozen in 2023.
Gandhi, you've been pretty quiet. What's your take? Huh, I thought I was talking to my comedic sidekick Gandhi. Let me know if you see him, turkey fire hydrant.
Number 9, Prophet. Canceled because its protagonist was an anti-hero.
Here we have the tools of your new profession.
Anti-heroes dominated quality television in the 2000s on the heels of Tony Soprano. And while Prophet would fit right in with those shows, it was released a decade too early, resulting in its downfall. Fox affiliates were bombarded with calls from distressed viewers who objected to the main character's actions and personality, and people within the business industry despised its portrayal on the show.
Fortunately, Gail, I'm the only one who knows anything about this. I can go back to auditing and make the whole thing disappear. But I'm gonna have to ask you for one small favor.
Ratings plummeted, and Prophet was canceled after only 4 episodes. The founder of Viewers for Quality Television attributed Prophet's failure to its disturbing nature, and it's now considered a show ahead of its time.
I'm willing to lay money. You look back in a few years, this is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Number 8, Deadwood. Canceled because David Milch didn't want to do a half season. Deadwood is often considered to be one of the greatest television shows of all time, and fans hoped for a long time that it would return in the form of a movie.
When did Hickok murder your brother, Mr. McCall?
In Kansas, Abilene.
Are you still drunk?
Following season 3, show creator David Milch was offered a 4th season consisting of 6 episodes. After Milch declined, he and HBO reached a deal to produce 2 two-hour movies to serve as a finale. However, these movies never came to be. In 2007, HBO brass put the odds of the films being made at 50-50, with a Deadwood TV film set 10 years following the show's 3rd season finally airing on HBO in 2019.
Announcing your plans. It's a good way to hear God laugh.
Number 7, Firefly. Canceled because the network aired the episodes out of order.
And don't you ever stand for that sort of thing. Someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill him right back.
If you're running a TV network and producing a serialized drama, perhaps it'd be a good idea to run the episodes in order. Otherwise, people will get confused and bail, which is exactly what happened to Firefly. For example, the intended series premiere, Serenity, was swapped with the 2nd episode, The Train Job, meaning that the show opened without the necessary backstory and character development. Fox then continued to air the episodes out of order, confusing fans and losing viewers in the process. The show was subsequently canceled after 11 episodes, leaving 3 unaired.
You're going to burn in a very special level of hell.
Number 6, Family Guy. Canceled because of erratic scheduling.
Oh, geez, how the hell am I going to break this to Lois? If she finds out I got fired for drinking, she's going to blame me.
No, Family Guy hasn't been canceled again. We're talking about the time it was taken off the air back in 2002 after only 3 seasons. On the surface, the reasoning behind the show getting axed makes sense. The viewership was low. However, take a closer look and you'll see that those low ratings were caused by the Fox network moving the show around. It was doing well initially, snuggled up between The Simpsons and The X-Files, but then Fox moved it opposite Frasier. From there, they put it up against Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then they had it on at the same time as Friends and Survivor. There aren't many shows that could have survived that kind of competition.
American Embassy, Cedric the Entertainer, The Tick, Louie, and Greg the Bunny.
Is there no hope?
Well, I suppose if all those shows go down the tubes, we might have a shot.
Number 5, Freaks and Geeks. Canceled because the network wanted it to be cooler and happier.
Nick, was he the one that ate all my fruit roll-ups?
Freaks and Geeks is undoubtedly a cult classic, and it helped launch the careers of comedians and stars like Seth Rogen and James Franco. Praised for its authenticity in depicting teenage life, many of its episodes were often sad, awkward, and troubling. Unfortunately, this clashed with the network's vision for the show. NBC wanted the characters to be cooler, and they wanted the storylines to be happier and more uplifting.
I don't need another friend. I already have 2. I mean, how many more friends does a guy need?
But the writers stuck to their guns, and NBC lost all hope in the series and canceled it after only 1 season. Number 4, Reading Rainbow. Canceled for not being educational.
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton's televised mission to encourage kids to read, spanned 21 seasons over 20-plus years, and won 26 Emmy Awards. However, that history meant nothing come 2006. When the No Child Left Behind Act came into effect in 2002, PBS put a lot of money towards teaching children the fundamentals of reading. As Reading Rainbow was a show geared towards children who already knew how to read, the series was canceled to fund shows more in line with this modified sense of educational programming.
One night, this baby bat gets lost and her whole world is turned upside down. The book and the bat are called Stella Luna.
Number 3, Batman. Canceled because someone destroyed the sets. The mid-60s Batman was a delightfully campy affair that, in just 3 seasons, saw 120 episodes air on ABC. But by the end of the 3rd season, ratings had dropped, and ABC canceled the show. NBC, seeing a potential gold mine, acted quickly and agreed to take the series. However, it seems like someone didn't get the memo, as the sets, which cost hundreds of thousands of 1960s dollars, were destroyed. NBC, perhaps not wanting to pony up the cash, time, and effort for new sets, ended the deal instead. And Batman was finished for good.
Holy semantics, Batman. You never cease to amaze me.
No time for compliments now, Robin. We must thwart some criminals. To the Batmobile.
Number 2, Young Justice. Canceled because it wasn't selling enough toys.
What have you done to my team?
Embarrass them largely.
Sometimes it feels like kids' TV is nothing but a giant toy ad. Sometimes it is. Young Justice was a series about teenage superheroes, until it was canceled by the Cartoon Network after 2 seasons. In December 2013, the writer-producer of multiple DC Comics animated series, Paul Dini, revealed on a podcast that the show was allegedly canceled because too many girls were watching, and quote, "they don't buy toys." Young Justice's creator Greg Weisman initially denied this reasoning, but later confirmed that the series was indeed canceled because Mattel, who funded the show, wasn't selling enough tie-in toys.
Fortunately, the show was ultimately brought back for at least 2 seasons starting in 2019.
I'm a little overwhelmed.
You're overwhelmed, Freeze was underwhelmed. Why isn't anyone ever just whelmed?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Ellen. Canceled because Ellen came out as gay.
Has there ever been anyone you felt you clicked with? And what was his name? Susan.
Ellen is notable for being one of the first mainstream television shows to feature an openly gay protagonist. Unfortunately, that notoriety also contributed to its cancellation. In the 4th season, both Ellen DeGeneres and her on-screen namesake came out as a lesbian.
I'm so afraid to tell people. Susan, I'm gay.
While the show was picked up for another season, the episodes of that season aired with a parental advisory warning due to Ellen being gay. Finally, amid tons of controversy, backlash, and criticism over the show focusing too much on gay issues, ABC canceled Ellen at the conclusion of its 5th season.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.